So I just wanted to show you this. So someone tweeted this out, and it's a picture of Barack Obama, and it says, "As long as I live, I will never understand how we went from Barack Obama to Donald Trump." Well, I can tell you, and and here's the video that will explain to you what happened. So people voted for the first black president, and they thought they were going to get a radical lefty who was going to stand up for workers, and what they got was Ronald Reagan. And how do I know that? Well, here we go.
Believe that. The truth of the matter is that my policies are so mainstream that, you know, if I had said the same policies that I have back in the 1980s, I'd be considered a moderate Republican. I mean, you know.
So that's him admitting it, that the Democratic Party, what I think he unwittingly revealed is that the Democratic Party has shifted so far to the right that now the first black president of the Democratic Party's policies are actually moderate Republican. So if you vote for a Republican, you get a Republican. You vote for a Democrat, you get a Republican. And that's why we went from Barack Obama to Donald Trump, because people, specifically black and brown people and working white class people, were tired of voting for Democrats. They voted for Barack Obama twice, and their lives got worse. Barack Obama didn't give us health care. He gave us a right-wing health care giveaway to the big pharma and health insurance companies, and poor people didn't get any better health care after that. They still went bankrupt when they got sick, and they still had high deductibles, which mean they didn't have access to health care, the same lack of access they had before Obamacare. That's why people were voting for Donald Trump, not because of racism, because they voted for a black guy twice, and they let them down unbelievably. He took us from 2 wars to 7. He deported more Hispanics than Donald Trump did. He made sure the bankers got their bonuses while he kicked 5.1 million families out of their houses. So those are just some of the reasons why we went from Barack Obama to Donald Trump. But the corporate media wants you to think Barack Obama was better because they could get more horrible stuff done with him than they could with Donald Trump. That's actually true. They could actually deport more people with Barack Obama. They could do more nefarious stuff over war. They could do more war mongering with Barack Obama because people thought he isn't a liar. But they were most closely scrutinizing Donald Trump. Anyway, let me throw it to you. That's why I think we went from Barack Obama to Donald Trump. What do you say?
I mean, you made the case extremely forcefully, and everything you said is a fact. I mean, in fact, the whole opening that was laid through for Trumpism and white populism in general is absolutely because of the systematic betrayal of the Democratic Party. And in fact, in 2016, Socialist Alternative and you also, we supported the Bernie Sanders campaign, and we saw how his message of a political revolution against the billionaire class resounded. So, I mean, it electrified tens of millions of people. He was winning support from otherwise, states that were otherwise just dismissed as right-wing or red states, or and so on and so forth. And it really showed the power of building unity, the potential for building working class unity through a strong working class program. However, the mistakes that were made, we don't want to repeat them. I mean, we saw that the Democratic Party will never, which is a party of billionaires, will never allow a political revolution against the billionaire class in their own party, because they represent the billionaire class. And that's why we need independent forces. And that's why it's really, really crucial why Workers' Strike Back is saying that working people need a new party of our own, because neither the Democrats nor the Republicans are working for us. And in fact, there's a danger. The longer it is that the left does not provide real fighting leadership, the more there is a danger of the right populist current developing. And, the danger of Trumpism has not gone in any way whatsoever.
So when Bernie Sanders started his movement, it was very powerful, very popular. Millions of people donated to him. Millions of people showed up for him. Millions of people voted for him. And then as soon as it was clear that the establishment wasn't going to allow him to get the nomination, he tucked his tail and expanded his organization, just like Barack Obama did in 2008 after he got elected. And so now the left doesn't, and he just told people to vote. So it looked like Bernie Sanders was some kind of psyop on the left, which was there specifically to make sure you took your revolutionary energy and focused it right back into an anti-worker, pro-war party, which is exactly what the Democratic Party is. And now Bernie Sanders is nowhere to be found fighting for anything. He's not putting a hold on any bill. He's voting for war. He's a war pig. He voted for the biggest upward transfer of wealth in human history, which was the CARES Act, without fighting for anything. He lied about getting the unemployment put in that bill. He didn't get that put in that bill. That was another senator who did that. So now we have no leader in Bernie Sanders, and he's been revealed to be a fraud and a sheepdog for Democrats, along with the Democratic Socialists of America. They're the same thing, right? And they'll never stand up for workers. So how do we build a third party in America when they keep them off the ballot, when they always going to get infiltrated, immediately infiltrated? So how do you build a third party?
I mean, the first step is not to put our faith in the people who have failed us, So first of all, refuse to accept this talking point that we have to keep going back to the Democratic Party and this whole idea of dirty break and so on, which pervades some circles in the DSA. And in fact, the DSA leadership, many sections of the DSA leadership actually have, they have tremendous responsibility on their hands as well, failing to hold the squad accountable, and the squad who in turn have given cover to Biden. So all of this is just absolutely nefarious. I would say that I think Bernie Sanders genuinely wanted to do something, but at the same time, those ideas have failed. They have failed to stand up for working people. As long as you go and call President Biden your friend, you are going to betray the working class. So I think the first step is for us to stop putting our faith in these types of ideas. It's not about the people. Those ideas have failed us. And that is why the only way to do this, there's no easy formula, Jimmy. There's no easy formula to build a new party. And that's the problem. A lot of people want something easy that will work out. And when that doesn't work out, then they want to just turn back to the Democratic Party. But at the same time, there are millions of workers out there who don't vote, young people who don't vote. They are angry. And those are the people we need to reach. And so I think it's also a question of the left understanding who our immediate audience are. Our audience are not the people who may not be convinced at this moment to break from the Democratic Party. We should be discussing with them, but at the same time, we should understand that there's a whole section of young people on the left who are ready to fight, who want to see a militant class struggle, who want to see a fight against the housing crisis, but nobody is talking to them. So those are the workers we need to reach. And that is why the union campaign in the Amazon Air Hub in Kentucky, that type of struggle is important. The other thing we're doing, which is also extremely important, is launching a petition. Workers Strike Back is launching a petition in solidarity with railroad workers and the people of East Palestine. Nobody's standing up to them, standing up for them. That is why we are doing this. The labor leadership should be doing this. They are not. This is a shameful failure on their part. And we are calling for the railroads to be brought into democratic public ownership. We want free healthcare for all. Obviously, most immediately, East Palestine residents are going to likely suffer serious and even deadly health conditions from the toxic disaster. We need Medicare for all, and we need a new party. And I'll tell you this, Jimmy, in terms of really building our confidence, is that everywhere in the cities, not just in Seattle, but in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and other cities where we have been out there talking to working people outside grocery stores, outside the Amazon warehouses, with our petitions for Workers Strike Back, whether it is for solidarity with the warehouse unionizing or with the railroad workers, we see such solidarity. We have never seen such strong response in all the years of our activism. And so that really is an indication for us that there's a real moment to build something big, but we need organizations on the left to join us. And that's why I hope that those who are here in Seattle on Saturday, March 4th at 12 noon, we're going to be doing a big launch of Workers Strike Back, and we're going to have workers from the Amazon Air Hub talking to us.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's this Saturday, March 4th?
Yes.
Okay, fine. And people can just go to your website to find out more about that?
Yes, just go to workersstrikeback.org and you'll find all the information.
Doing live stand-up comedy in Tempe, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, Nashville, Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, and Hartford, Connecticut. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and become a premium member. Get access to all our content.